Okay guys, I got a couple of cousins here, both from 1969, and there's a design change that Tecumseh made that year, and the reason I'm doing it with these is because I just happen to have both of these right now, and I can show that change and give you kind of a quick explanation why that's there. But anyway, this is an earlier in the year 69, and then this is a late 69. This is a H25 and this is a H30. That's irrelevant on the change. The change happened on all of the small frame engines, and that is this. This shroud is smooth. So this shroud was used like say 66 to late 69. Earlier ones, while they still look the same, if they had, and I think they started this recoil during late 63. They had a little half moon cut out for a spark plug, because the very early engines, the spark plug was over here, right over the intake valve, and they moved it over. So for a couple of years they left the half moon. So 66 and up, or 66 to mid 69 for smooth with no half moon. You know, this information hopefully for people that are doing restorations or actually care about how the engine's supposed to look. Late 69, this change came in and ran till the end of this shroud design, which was this flat area and this ridge. And the reason they had to put that in there was they came out with the HS40 in the late 60s. It came online October of 67, and originally the 4 horsepower engine did use the same head and the same bolt pattern as the H25s through H30s did. But in middle of 69, they had to go to, they redesigned the block again, and they went to a larger bolt pattern with a bigger head gasket. Here's what the head gasket looked like for the first, which is the same as a head H25 through H35, and you can clearly see the difference in the bolt pattern, plus all the surface area that was added, which of course helps with blowouts, head gasket blowouts, and warping, all that stuff, which was a big issue in the 60s on the H25s through 35s, and that's noted here. And this is in technicians' books too. They did a major change in the mid 60s where you can see this is how the head gasket originally looked, is all thin. Well, this is the exhaust side, excuse me, and they beefed it up here, and they also beefed up the heads there as well. But when they came out with the HS40, they still ran this style, and now this is the exhaust side. And while the cooling is coming off the fan right here, I still don't think it was enough, and I think that was one of the reasons to make that design change. Of course, when they did that, this early shroud that's curved didn't fit the head and the bolt pattern well, so they had to do this little bump out, and so they made it universal. So it just was a way for them to be able to use this shroud on every engine, every small frame engine I should say, that they were making at the time. So that's the explanation for that ridge there. And as far as other things go, if you are restoring an engine that has this ridge, you need to be very diligent in checking that ridge, getting it down to bare metal and getting a good look, because they were very prone, all of them were prone to cracking, but they were very prone to crack here and here at this side. So you got to watch that, because if you taking the time to rebuild an engine and then that starts cracking on you, that can be a problem. So anyway, this is also going to serve as a last turntable spin video for the customer on this engine to show how it came out before it goes in a box. This was another one of my full rebuilds. It got 10 over, oversized exhaust valve I believe on this one. Of course I shaved the head, and I also drew out all those surfaces because of what I just said about the head gaskets wanting to warp and blow out. It's very critical that you get all that stuff right and use an actual torque wrench and follow the procedure to install all that. I see a lot of people online don't seem to worry about that stuff, and it makes a difference. So anyway, that's that. This one's for a BC 1100. and it is original to that bike. Came out pretty good. Wish we had more of these mufflers, but they just non-existent anymore. So this was Tecumseh's alternative. When you look up part numbers, they suggest this one. So it can be unscrewed if the customer ever finds an original to use. So anyway, that's that. Hope if you never knew what that ridge was for, now you do. And have a great day.